Hello, it's Catherine from House Architects again. I wanted to do a little video today just talking about why I decided to become a residential architect. I, um, I graduated, I went to university in Liverpool and I graduated in 2000 2010 from my bachelor's degree, and then graduated in 2013, I think. Is that right? Yeah, 2013 from my master's degree at John Moores University. Um, and after I was at university, I worked for a small to medium sized practice, and their emphasis was on schools, residential schemes, and some commercial work. The main body of their work was in schools. So the types of clients that I was working with at that time were sort of like professional people. It wasn't sort of facing the public, so to speak. But the opportunity that I did get to work on the smaller house extensions and projects that we would get in at that practice, those experiences I really enjoyed, more so than dealing with a developer, for example, because I like the domestic residential sector. I love designing homes, but also it was really great to actually have that immediate feedback from the end user of the thing that you're designing, the you know what you're designing. The client is actually going to enjoy that. It's not passing it on to sort of like a third party user, like a developer develops a school and then it's handed over to the school. So I decided in 2017 to branch out, and to branch out just exclusively into the domestic residential sector. And I've never looked back since. um, I I love working with homeowner clients. It's really nice actually working in one sector, because you get to become really familiar with all of the problems of a certain type of home. You get to see different designs of different homes, different periods, and over the course of what's it been now, say about 4 years, just exclusively working in the domestic residential sector, the problems that you come across, they sort of crop up a lot. Drainage surveys, conservation areas, listed buildings. So having familiarity with doing just domestic residential extensions, I think with familiarity comes enjoyment, doesn't it? If you know something really well, you know how to do it, it becomes easier for you and you start to really enjoy it. So I love designing house extensions. I love to try to fit different things together and solve a layout. It's almost like some houses, you've got a lot of space to play with. Some other houses, it's like a Rubik's cube to try to figure out what is the best layout to use, because there's they've got really tight space constraints, and I love being challenged like that. So I love working on smaller homes and larger homes. The smaller homes, you have to be quite logical and use your creativity and your logic together to create the best design solution. And there's normally only like one or two options that are really gonna, you know, satisfy the design criteria for smaller homes, and then for larger homes as well. It's like, that's a great opportunity to, you know, design something that is, you know, quite luxurious, and to include things like, you know, a bedroom sized walk-in wardrobe, dressing area, for example. You know, love that. Or, you know, in a kitchen, if you've got the space, to include maybe like a concealed pantry. Love doing that. Yeah, and so I really enjoy not only the actual design in itself of house extensions, but I really enjoy dealing with people, which is something that I didn't get much of an opportunity to do when I was working for a larger practice. I also found that at the previous practices that I worked on, because they were engaged in multiple sectors, so they were doing, you know, another practice that I worked at did mainly healthcare, so their main client, you know, were healthcare providers. So because in those practices, the larger fees were coming from the larger sectors like healthcare, schools, commercial, and the house extensions or refurbishments, sometimes clients would get in touch and the practice would consider it too small to take on, or where it was, you know, a big enough job to take on, it would still not be as large a fee as, you know, healthcare or schools, for example. Therefore it would get less attention, you know, and that would make me a bit sad, you know, because I always loved to sort of dive into a residential project and, you know, sort it out and speak with the client and see how to solve their, you know, the problems that they're having with their home, and create a really lovely design for them. But because, you know, the fees were sort of weighted more on the larger jobs, my attention had to be put there, you know. So yeah, they're sort of the main two reasons why I love working on house extensions. I really love residential design. It's like my favourite sector to work in, and I really like dealing face to face with the end user of what it is that I'm going to build, so that, you know, I know that what I'm designing is really going to work for the end user, and it's really quite fulfilling and rewarding to actually see people's reactions, you know, when the extension is done at the end of that whole journey, to see how happy they are with their new home, and yeah, that's something that, you know, I didn't really get in other practices that I was working in, because there was less opportunity to work on residential design. So that's just a little sort of interesting piece just about me and why I chose to be a residential architect. If you are a homeowner and you're thinking of getting a house extension done, or any works to your home, you can book a free consultation with me. So free consultation lasts around 45 minutes to an hour, and I'll get more information about your home, and I'll be able to give you advice on, you know, generally speaking, design, processes, timescales, and budgeting involved, and professional fees. So I'll put a little link in the description to this video below, where you can book that if you like. Okay, hope to speak to you soon. Bye.